Good morning, Grace Harbor Church. The day is August 10th, and we're in Jeremiah 10 through 13. So we've been in Jeremiah for a few weeks now, and so we're seeing what the weeping prophet says about the situation that Israel has kind of gotten themselves into. So we see in chapters 10 through 13, Jeremiah quite often makes a complaint to God, like, hey, how are you letting this happen? And God steadfastly says, largely, you guys kind of got yourselves into it. I'm your portion, I'm your strength, and then you chase after other false gods. And in chapter 10, he talks about, these gods that you're chasing after are made of wood, and wood isn't good or bad. It's wood. It's not going to help you, and that you don't need to fear other gods because they're just wood or stone or gold or silver or whatever. And I'm a living God, and I'm against you. Now that we see in especially chapters 13, mostly 13, whenever he does a loincloth analogy and lesson of you're to cling to me and to be part of a very intimate way, and instead you got away from it, and you're ruined and you're good for nothing. And so Babylon is getting ready to march on Jerusalem and Judah, that Jeremiah is not happy about, but God's exacting some just punishment, just as he did and he reminded to the Israelites whenever they rose up against Moses and they didn't want to do what Moses was telling them God was saying. God took care of business then, not letting them into Israel, and now God is saying, I'm cutting this a little bit short too. I gave you milk and honey, and you should have pursued me, and you didn't. Instead, you went after false gods, or as verse 27 said, I've seen your abominations, your adulteries. So they've sold themselves out for gods of wood and stone and gold and silver and man's creations of their own hand, instead of the God of creation who made them out of the dust of the earth. And so it's really interesting to see Jeremiah, who really wants Israel to do right, really wants there to be a reunification of togetherness and walking with God. Instead, Israel just keeps straying further and further, and all Jeremiah can really do is ask God that he not cast them aside and to continue to weep. And I think in our fallen world, more speaking to today's culture, we see the very same horrible things happen all around us. And I think the way we can apply it to our lives is that, just like Jeremiah, we should continue to seek after God and seek what he says, and read from his word and listen to the Holy Spirit and weep for the world, our nation, our neighborhood, our block, our families. Continue to pursue God, but ultimately his is the will in the future, and he's our portion. And so we should have an attitude of continual prayer for everything, communities, world, families, all of it, as we see, some now and some later, the Lord's righteous judgment come for those who did not take their portion in him. And so I want to encourage you, church and believers and my family, that Jeremiah's fear and what's coming of Judah coming to, and Babylon coming to destroy Jerusalem and Judah, and that was God's plan. Don't look at the world as a way of, all these things are happening, we need to fix something. God's got it under control. We should trust him, pray, and witness to those around us, because that's ultimately what our mission and what the Great Commission is. Anyway, love y'all.